We as millennials are potentially the smartest and most informed, yet most ignorant, selfish, self-righteous, self-centered, arrogant, narcissistic generation ever. We ultimately don't know what we think we know. We are unworthy of the power we possess because the truth is we have the power to create new worlds. Yet we also have the potential to destroy the world we have. And right now, all I see is destruction. All I see is family and friendships being torn apart and uprooted by their very fabric. I have even seen people disown their tightest bonds over differences in political opinion. All I see is people, threatening to block them or delete their comments that they don't agree with, threatening to break up friendships because somebody wants to vote for Donald freaking Trump. All I see is a silent civil war that looks like it's going to turn into a real civil war any day now. All because as millennials, we are a spoiled bunch of baby brats. And all it takes is one knucklehead to take that war from Facebook to face, and then we have a real civil war on our hands. I'm honestly scared this election will spark that individual to start a real war. We are a country divided, clearly divided. We need to stop acting the way we are acting, like children, and grow up and fix this. We as millennials have been afforded this insane convenience that allows us to remove anything and anyone that we do not like or agree with. It's called social media, also known as the proverbial human mute button. It's the ultimate destruction of freedom of speech, freedom of thought, and freedom in general. We have been afforded the convenience that allows us to destroy the rights of other people at will, while ironically, inadvertently destroying our own rights in the process. We as millennials have tons of selfie respect, but not selfless respect. So really, we as millennials have no respect for anyone other than ourselves, and to say we have respect for ourselves is really freaking stretching it. We just honestly have no respect for human life, period. I didn't say black life, I didn't say white life, I didn't say Asian life or gay life. I said human life. We all bleed red blood, folks. We need to respect human life. And that's another thing. We go out there and we parade around for causes that are near and dear to us and only us. We parade around for what we want and what we believe in. We parade around for our rights. We parade around for nobody other than ourselves. Then we change our Facebook photos in lockstep with everyone else so we can look cool for supporting a cause. So really, we're just going to the pride parade to look cool, ladies. We don't really care. We just want the kudos so we can be one of the cool kids. It's disgusting. I really dare you to support a cause without making yourself a billboard after doing it. Because I have news for you. The sad hard fact of life is nobody gives a crap. You're looking cool for nobody, and by supporting causes in that manner, you are the problem that is widening this divide in America. You all say that we should abolish stereotypes, but you're making you and everyone else in that cause a bigger stereotype in the process. You're doing more damage than helping it, and you look like a tool in the process. Ultimately, I mean, there are some people that are utterly selfless, yes. I am actually lucky enough to know one. But when was the last time you can honestly say that you went out there and paraded around for somebody else's rights, even though you didn't believe in them and they didn't help you in your life out? Maybe they even made your life worse by making theirs better. How many of you can honestly say that you are so selfless that that is what you do? Or that when you go into the voting booth, you are not voting for you, but you are voting for all Americans. You are voting for all of us. Do you really do that? I honestly think that until we as millennials grow up, stop acting like spoiled children, destroying people's rights, lives, and freedom, and maybe develop some form of selflessness and compassion in the process, we should not be allowed to vote. We should not be allowed to vote until we can respect our fellow human beings. Because we need to be able to go into a voting booth and put all of our beliefs, all of our own conceptions, and everything and anything else aside, and vote on behalf of our friends, families, and all 322 million Americans out there. Until then, we should not be allowed to vote, because if we do, we will destroy the very fabric of America. We as millennials are destroying America because we think this is the United States of I, a me country that owes us everything and anything that we want. Newsflash again, America does not revolve around you. In reality, this is the United States of A, as in all of us. We as individuals are not America. We united as individuals that stand with each other whether they agree with each other or not. Those individuals together are America. It's called a melting pot. And it's time that we get back to that. It's time that we put our petty little childish differences aside and start uniting together whether we agree with one another or not. Uniting together as a nation strong, not a nation divided on the verge of a civil war. It's time we stop using social media tactics in real life. It's time we stop threatening to delete, edit, or block people and what people say just because we don't agree with it. We really should not have the right to censor our fellow humans so freely. To do so is the ultimate form of arrogance and selfishness. It's time to stop coming to virtual blows over invisible things. The world does not operate by the rules of social media. I'll say it again slowly. The world does not operate by the rules of social media, period. People have the right to say what they want to say, but because of people that do things like that, threaten people, threaten to block them, edit their comments, or delete what they say, they make it so people like I can't say things like what I'm saying right now. I am literally afraid of posting this because I am afraid somebody will ruin my life and my career because they don't agree with what I'm saying right now. So I have to remain anonymous to speak my mind. Kinda sounds like North Korea, right? And that is utterly disgusting and sick. Sick that I have to be afraid of you when I'm speaking my mind. In a world run by things like political correctness, we have to have a dozen freaking filters on what we say because if we don't, we end up hurting somebody's feelings and then they go and sue us for it because they get stressed out and it ruins our lives. Do you honestly think that's right? Do you honestly think that affords everybody their civil rights? How is that freedom of speech or thought? And does that really sound like America? You know, people accuse Donald Trump of being a Hitler-esque Nazi, but nothing is more dictatoristic than telling somebody they can't say what they're thinking because you don't agree with it. Nothing is more dictatoristic than making people afraid to exercise their basic human rights for fear of exile and chastisation, fear of their whole life being turned upside down and their name being smeared across all mediums. We as millennials are hypocrites. We are the very monsters we accuse other people such as Trump of being, when the only real dictators I see are you. We as millennials are the biggest threat to national security and the American way of life. This is once again a perfect example of everyone thinking about themselves only. We are a me, control freak generation, and that needs to end today. We live in historic times, ladies and gentlemen. We are facing a hallmark election, potentially the most important election in all of American history. America is divided and currently sitting atop a slippery slope waiting to fall. We can either elect somebody who is going to push it over that slope and destroy this country for good, all because we decided that we wanted to vote for somebody who gives us something for free, or we can vote for somebody that will help pull this nation back to safety, and we need to pull this nation back to safety. Go into the voting booth and leave all of your political beliefs, desires, ideas, and everything and anything related at the door. Forget about all the smear tactics and campaigns running against somebody, all the false crap and propaganda everybody throws at their opponents to make us doubt them. Go in there as somebody who has no idea what they're doing, never voted before, has no idea what they believe in, has no idea about anyone or anything. Read the voter pamphlet. Read it 3 or 4 times, cover to cover. Take your time and ask yourself, is this person going to help everyone, or is this person only helping me? Is this person good for the future of my country and my fellow man? And then vote based on that. Don't go in there and vote for somebody because they're going to give you free college or some other candy bowl giveaway. Go in there and vote for somebody because they give your neighbor the rights he or she needs to be recognized as an individual in society, whether you agree with them or not. Go in there and vote for somebody because they can help somebody's small business grow. Go in there and vote for somebody you believe in that will make America a shining beacon on a hill of freedom again. Freedom for all. Vote for America. I'm tired of people destroying friendships based off of propaganda. I'm tired of people creating rifts between one another because one person is a Republican and one person is a Democrat. Wake up, people, and realize it's not Republican versus Democrat. It's us against them. Example, the establishment is freaking out about Donald Trump for one simple reason, and it's not the reason you think. They are freaking out about Donald Trump because he is not an establishment candidate. He is an outsider, and although he's rich, he is one of us, and he's a threat to the way of life of all of the establishment politicians. They don't want somebody who is of the people. They want somebody they know is going to ensure they, as establishment politicians, keep their cush benefits, that they get their rich lobster lunches, and maybe expensive this or that on our tax dollars. If you could live like a king or queen, would you really want to give it up? No, you really wouldn't. Therefore, it is time everybody realizes it's us as Americans against the American establishment. It's time to take our country back again. And we as millennials have the power to do just that. But the choice is ultimately yours. If we vote for ourselves, we will ruin this country. We will ruin it for every American in it. We need to take this country back and make it a country of the people once again. So the choice is yours. I only ask that you understand the gravity of this election and that you understand how powerful your vote really is. Your vote is going to change the world. Your vote is going to change the world. It's time to grow up and fix this mess we as millennials have begun to create. It's time to stop running the world by the rules of social media, deleting and editing what we don't want to hear, blocking the people that we don't agree with, and muting our fellow human beings. It's time to respect the rights of everyone else, especially above the rights of our own. It's time to vote for everyone and not just ourselves. It's time to fix America. So let's make it count.